Muslim faithful in Uyo join other Muslim communities in the world to celebrate 2023 Eid al-Maulud. Speaker, House of Representatives urges Muslims and Nigerians to imbibe virtues of charity and forgiveness. Plus, Center for Clinical Care and Clinical Research holds 2023 Learning Summit to cushion effects of HIV and AIDS epidemic. Hello, very good morning. It's nice to have you join us on the news. My name is Evelyn Badu Epo. This broadcast is reaching live on Star Times Channel 103 and our social media platforms on YouTube and Facebook. Muslim faithful in Uyo joined other Muslim communities in the world to celebrate this year's Eid al-Maulud, which is birth of Prophet Muhammad. The leader of Hausa community in Akwa Ibom State, Hassan Sadauki, is therefore admonishing youths and the Muslim Ummah to embrace the virtues of Prophet Muhammad in order to have a peaceful coexistence in Akwa Ibom and Nigeria. Joy Ubani reports.
Eid al-Maulud is observed on the third month of Islamic calendar, which marks the birth anniversary of Prophet Muhammad. This day is also considered to be one of the most auspicious days for Muslims to remind them of the virtues of Prophet Muhammad.
Muslim communities all over the world, they are organizing symposiums, lectures, and so forth, in order to educate the Ummah and to remind us of the kind of life the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has impacted.
To give the story of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, where he was born, the struggling that he faced, the problem that he faced in his life, and then the achievement that he did. He revived it, like he revived the walls, and then what he did, his conduct, his behaviors, his patience, and then the work.
The leader of the Hausa community and the village head of Mbariko Ukwitam local government area calls for peace and unity among the people.
We are few here in Akwa Ibom State. It's only on occasion like this that we can gather and synthesize and remind ourselves of the teachings of the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
As I expected from them, the cooperation as we usually cooperate. That's all. I don't want anything more than that.
In the mood of the celebration, some Muslim scholars prepared messages to commemorate the day.
My message to each and everybody, let him try his best to follow the teaching of his messenger. If we are going to follow the teaching of our messenger, we'll never fight. And then Christians too, if they will try their best to follow the Bible, teaching of Bible, they will never fight.
Special meals are also not left out to celebrate the birth of Prophet Muhammad. In Uyo, Joy Ubani, NTA News.
Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas has urged Muslims and all Nigerians to imbibe virtues of charity, forgiveness and patriotism, which he says are necessary for promoting peace and progress in the country. In a message to mark this year's Eid al-Maulud through his special advisor on media and publicity, Musa Krishi, Speaker Abbas urged Nigerians to use the occasion to pray for their political, religious and traditional leaders, while expressing hope that the prayers and collective efforts by all stakeholders would take the country out of its current challenges. He wished the Muslim Ummah successful celebrations of Eid al-Maulud, even as he called for peaceful conduct during the period. In the same vein, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives Benjamin Kalu, in a message through his Chief Press Secretary Livinus Nwabue-Giogu, urged Muslims and indeed all Nigerians to continually uphold the virtues of peace and unity and pray fervently for the progress of the country, assuring that the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not fail Nigerians. And still on the Eid al-Maulud is a day set aside to honor the birth of the Holy Prophet of Islam, Muhammad. As Muslims across the world commemorate the day, Tokpai Alabi in this report takes a look at the significance to the Muslim Ummah.
وما محمد إلا رسول قد خلت من قبله الرسل.
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born on a Monday, the 12th day of Rabiul Awwal, a day that represents the symbol of faith in Islam. Not all Muslims celebrate Eid al-Mawlud, while some honor the Holy Prophet Muhammad by commemorating his birthday with open-air services. Some are opposed to the idea of celebration as they believe the Prophet did not celebrate his birthday during his lifetime.
All good things which we are practicing, he brought it to us.
According to Islamic history and traditions, what the Prophet did was to fast on Mondays to mark his birthday and on Thursdays as the day he was called to prophethood.
Action with love, with care, with justice. But unfortunately these days, that is not what we see.
This is the best time for us to demonstrate the qualities and teachings of the Prophet ﷺ so that our nation will be greater and greater and our problems will be solved and they will have divine intervention from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
While the day is not like the other celebrations in Islam, clerics encouraged Muslim faithful to spread the virtues of the Holy Prophet Muhammad on the day, especially the message of love, peace, togetherness, forgiveness, perseverance, and nation building. Tokpai Alabi, NTA News.
Ministry of Economic Development will commence the bilateral discussion on the 2024 capital estimate for Akwa Ibom State on Friday, 29 September 2023 by 10 in the morning. The following MDAs are to appear on Friday, 29 September 2023. Ministry of Information, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Office of the State Auditor General, Ministry of Youth and Sports, AIRCOM, Office of the Auditor General, Local Government, Ministry of Education, Akwa Ibom State University, Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, Ikodasura, Akwa Ibom State College of Education, Afangaset, Akwa Ibom State College of Science and Technology, Nonwakem Kono, State Secondary Education Board, State Technical School Board, State Universal Basic Education Board. Others are Ministry of Women Affairs, Ministry of Science and Technology, Akwa Ibom State Council for Arts and Culture, Bureau of Political and Social Reorientation, Akwa Ibom State Fiscal Responsibility Board, State Agency for Control of AIDS, Akwa Ibom State Life Enhancement, Office of the Deputy Governor, Akwa Ibom State Investment Corporation, Governor's Office, and Christian Pilgrim Board. The statement signed by Permanent Secretary Christopher Udo indicates that the State Capital Estimate Committee will be inaugurated same day at 12 noon at the conference hall of the ministry, while all the MDAs will appear as scheduled on the current timetable sent to them. And Nigerians have been called upon to visit Akwa Ibom State to enjoy the numerous tourist sites available in the state and the rich cultural heritage of the people. This was the agreement of tourism stakeholders at event organized by the Federation of Tourism Associations of Nigeria in partnership with Akwa Ibom State Government to celebrate the 2023 World Tourism Day in Uyo. John Paul Alumina reports.
Participants at the 2023 World Tourism Day with the theme Tourism and Green Investment say Akwa Ibom is the emerging tourism destination of Nigeria.
All this trouble you are hearing everywhere, Akwa Ibom is quiet, is encouraging. So everybody want to where there is space. If there is space, even if you're a businessman or you're a government worker, you do your work well and have a relax. But when there's problem, you don't know where to go.
When I was coming in, I could see that there's a lot of greenery in Akwa Ibom, and I just think it's time to harness all the potential the state has in terms of tourism, and Akwa Ibom is actually a very good destination.
Very excited. World Tourism Day 2023, always celebrated. I'm even more happy that it is being celebrated in Akwa Ibom State because I'm from Akwa Ibom State.
It's beautiful being here. Akwa Ibom is the next destination. In fact, it's fantastic to be here. If you have not been to Akwa Ibom State, you've not visited any state in Nigeria.
The President, Federation of Tourism Associations of Nigeria, FTAN, Nkeruwem Onung, says the theme of this year's celebration is apt as it captures tourism as a powerful tool for sustainable development, which can lead to job creation if properly harnessed. He commended Governor Moeno for his deliberate efforts to revive and maintain tourist sites in Akwa Ibom State, calling on all potential investors to take advantage of tourist sites in the state to make money.
It is about purchasing power, and so we begin. That's why we appreciate and believe that what Governor Moeno is doing with agriculture and rural development, because without poverty reduction, tourism doesn't really bring livelihood to the people. Akwa Ibom, the new spirit of tourism in Nigeria, is a reality. It's something that is already here.
A message was presented from the United Nations World Tourism Organization calling on government at all levels to encourage tourism to reduce poverty and create jobs.
This World Tourism Day will recognize the theme of tourism and green investments. The theme could not be more timely. 2023 was the hottest year on our record, and extreme weather events like heat waves could become the new normal.
Goodwill messages were presented by some groups and associations appealing to Nigerians to work together to make the country great. Cultural troops from the State Council of Art and Culture entertained the guests. In Uyo, John Paul Alumon, NTA News.
The Center for Clinical Care and Clinical Research through the United States Agency for International Development have implemented various programs across 3 states in the South-South region of Nigeria. The gesture aims to help cushion HIV and AIDS epidemic amongst children and vulnerable households. Emedi Angumo reports that the Learning Summit afforded the organization the opportunity to discuss achievements of various projects as well as challenges.
For decades now, several organizations have been in the front burner in the fight against HIV and AIDS epidemic. Center for Clinical Care and Clinical Research is one of such indigenous organizations that has carried out several programs promoting best practices using locally adapted models of health systems to care, support, and treat orphans and vulnerable children, aimed at achieving a reduction in their vulnerability to HIV.
For every work we do, there are learning points that has to be noted. Learning points that helps to embellish the work. Learning points that also forms and inputs for our programming.
We want them to learn in their experience. We also want to build the capacity of our partners to be able to document the work they are doing in terms of scientific write-ups that we call abstracts, and then for them to come and showcase that and be able to push that forward.
The organization deems this summit apt, which is to evaluate the level of projects achieved so far since its existence and brainstorm on challenges and the way forward.
Usually we'll come into a space first to study and understand the problems, and then together with the target population, carve out the solutions that are homegrown. So
these projects, programs, and even the infrastructure at the primary healthcare level. Now, this has a series of policies that have been put in place to ensure that that happens, and one of them is the primary healthcare under one roof policy, and that's what guides our operations.
We are reflecting on what EXA project have done so far in trying to mitigate the impact of HIV and AIDS in these 3 states.
Participants acknowledge the learning process as educating, which will help them to achieve their goals as they render selfless service to eradicate HIV and AIDS.
Being here, I've been inspired, I've been challenged, and I've actually seen, because we are researchers, I've actually seen many research opportunities in the area of working with orphaned and vulnerable children, the overseas, and even in the area of HIV/AIDS.
It's a good opportunity for peer learning for the CSO partners being brought together to these 3 states to be able to showcase what they do in the various states, as well as learn from the others and then come up with clear plans that will enhance sustainability in the various states where they work.
The theme for this year's Learning Summit is the contributions of orphans and vulnerable children programs to AIDS epidemic control. In Uyo, Emediongo, NTA News.
And on sports update, Morocco has scored 22 points to emerge the winner of the host country for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. For other trending sports news, let's join our sports desk.
As at Tuesday, the medals table at the ongoing National Youth Games in Asaba Delta State is already taking shape as the defending champions and hosts Delta State dominate proceedings. Team Delta tops the chart with 21 gold medals, 14 silver and 9 bronze medals, followed by Team Lagos with 12 gold, 9 silver and 8 bronze medals. Bayelsa State occupies the 3rd position with 9 gold, 2 silver and 6 bronze medals. Meanwhile, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has expressed confidence that Nigeria military is hosting to win the 2nd edition of the 2024 African Military Games in November next year. He stated this at the Defense Headquarters in Abuja when the Organization of Military Sports in Africa handed over the African Military Games trophy flag and touch of unity ahead of the game.
We are fit, we are capable, and we will always deliver.
The Military Games is coming after 21 years when Kenya hosted and won it in 2002 in Nairobi. About 500 golfers in Nigeria will compete at the IBB International Golf and Country Club, Abuja, to commemorate Nigeria's 63rd independence anniversary. 4 African countries will also participate in the event, as stated by the captain of the club, Olabanjo Obaleye, in a press conference to herald the tournament in Abuja.
To use sports as a rally point for unity, security, and peaceful coexistence of all Nigerians.
Finally, Victor Osimhen's agent Roberto Calenda has threatened to take legal action against Napoli after the club mocked the striker on social media. Napoli shared a video on their TikTok account showing the striker missing a penalty against Bologna, but were later deleted. Osimhen was seen questioning manager Rudy Garcia when he was taken off in the 86th minute of Sunday's goalless draw against Bologna. With Sports Update, I'm Austin Edemodu, NTA News.
And to end the news, a recap of the major highlights. Muslim faithful in Uyo have joined all the Muslim communities in the world to celebrate 2023 Eid al-Mawlud. Speaker, House of Representatives has urged Muslims and Nigerians to imbibe virtues of charity and forgiveness. You also heard in the news that Center for Clinical Care and Clinical Research have held 2023 Learning Summit to cushion effects of HIV and AIDS pandemic. And that concludes the bulletin. For our tip, to be a star, join NTA's campaign against rape and rapists. Thank you for sharing your time with us. To join us at 7 p.m. for for a fresh package of the news bulletin. Wisdom Jacob is standing by for the news bulletin. From me, do have a beautiful morning.
Yo Ediana Yembono Moke Fred Rimbo di Tum Usore di Ongte Idel Maluda Kiswa 2023. Adai Wuru Fongbet House of Representatives Sebo Yambun Muslim Yambun Enya Spirit Adi Nongawum Bo Medidakan Nowu. Ebo di Ongte Center for Clinical Care and Clinical Research Etum Ukbembo Amo Anyeki Swa 2023. Kang ini song ida ombo yai kom membok sangini nia ubara senamia. Mikali wisdom check up. Bun Muslim miku yo ema idea na yembono mo ke frere mbro di tumu soro iswa mi enye di ongete idel malud ado usoro usene mana Prophet Muhammad. Adayo sonke mbun anom bun hausa mika kwa ibum state Hassan Sadauki asunu yokud mi wad yembun Muslim bo ya moyem eno idu wem na Prophet Muhammad agadu ba to do edikan idong yembono bo ke kwa ibum state ye ke freedom in Nigeria e kombo me ito kombo
enam ya idiongo ke Prophet Muhammad ke manam mfna mi adu sen sanga bun Muslim se kesuenum adidara e mana Prophet Muhammad amoy mai tanke mana mo adu e mana ase ke bentim kpo adai sok me mo ke me mo didare mana mo mfan awot ke anye ayaka kaiso adina mo wang tim kpo ino me mo awodo dai wod nonka hausa ke stetnyen nkoro obong idong mbari koro kuitam e mai tange ko ebongo kame koro frewo ebo ya mo ya ma medidia na kid asongo da ke tumbuno wo ya to yo usen e mana Prophet Muhammad ya ibenesin kerunam Mato kondo abasebo yoke sore mana memo idi agami anwa ma frefre wo ke di son wora tai kambe daresit mbon Muslim ma ebogo etem didia enombono wo ndidia yunga kene wano bo ndidia ke di mbono wo adi kud idaresit e mana Prophet Muhammad tisika okol akombo enti
the Center for Clinical Care and Clinical Research. The United States Agency for International Development, USAID, eben mention sion lutum esen gerinam kikba South idenya. Adina mi adom ba atoro yem musong na adi yom memfrau dong ichaita ketun toyen yem muwene kidenya. Ado a combo nyene meri omo nam ya idion keke tumari namame. Ba to do no mo fang adik it bad mention sum bose mo nanga ye même français mo ni kini enanga ke menu tumutu mo e kombo mi to emeri mo
eboke umiang iswa adomi ke mention sio ebo eyem usong petre udon itaita ndien ebo Kyoto Center for Clinical Care and Clinical Research ado ebo kid akeneke kediwam adikan boke ekpe mbono we nyunga sunwam enombono wo eniere udome kerikan boke enommo ubo utomsenam enyunga kreboke enommo ibok yagammo edat ke ukpempo ammo ekenama akero rikan boke ekpe mbono wo ke mestate ita adogo Akwa Ibom Cross River ye Bayelsa na eni fiok ebanga me usong na ekbenam yang bono wo eni fiok ebanga udon ita ayogo bon ekebagado ema ekobi ne mesere banga enye bokedo eti ukpebe mi mo ekopo adogo ke ya nwa ke ndungo ami mo isokinam ibanga udon ita iworiko ukpempo akiswami ado mensionsio ntomsat ambonowo enamma ke banga ke mbon unana yembon mmemirem ke banga udon ita mi kuyo emediongo mo akombo NTA
Kangin bod di trembo basa na medro tu tumbu bre yung kanang kay tiaba di temmagi kup member ofen itunyen. Tituinere.